That is bananas to me.
Yeah. It's wild.
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Josh, flying around. Welcome to the 2 Decades Too Late podcast.
In my head.
Well,
yeah.
Welcome to the podcast, gang. It's 2 Decades Too Late podcast. I am Brad, hanging out with Yelly Josh.
They call me California Slim.
Yeah. I'm realizing how wiped I am now that I have to think.
This is a show in which we.
I can totally do this. This is a podcast in which we rate and review an album that is turning 20 years old, mostly metal for whatever it's worth. Little mixed bag today, and we'll get to that in a minute. Josh and I each give a rating, 1 to 5, to 4 different parameters, for an individual maximum point total of 20, and a combined maximum point total of 40. And what do we, not so much who we listening to, who we reviewing, but what do we got going on today, Josh?
I can tell you we're not hitting 40 today.
No.
I would be shocked, honestly. I don't think our parameters would allow for it. But we got a little jam session going on today. If you're not familiar with the jam session, it's we do a quick hit of four different, definitely 4 today, 4 different albums.
Yep.
From bands that either don't have a lot of information or maybe we weren't that super into in 2005, but for whatever reason they pop up as influences of bands that we liked, and we just want to give them a fair shake and a listen.
That is in fact correct. We generally do this once every quarter. No reason we didn't. We just didn't. So we're doing it now. Yeah. And we will do another one at our regularly scheduled, the same bat time, same bat place phone.
Hell yeah. Bat phone.
At the end of Q2 to be on track again. But we want to get one of these in. Again, we got a lot of albums to get to, so
new Q.
So yeah, without further ado, we will hit that sweet, sweet review music and get to it. Review! It's
2 of them. So up first, you want to do Animal Alpha?
Animal Alpha, yes, I do.
Hell yeah.
This was an album I stumped for. I know you had kind of listened to it before, and I don't think you liked it, if I remember correctly. I don't know if that's changed or not. I have a very big soft spot for this album.
So weird.
But Josh, I know, I love it. I love it. I'm not going to... Now, again, to your previous point, the parameters won't allow me to give this probably what I'd like to, but...
Right.
Yeah. What Animal Alpha album were we doing?
We are listening to Pheromones from Animal Alpha, released October 14th, 2005. The band is from Norway. It doesn't say where on their wiki. It just says Norway. So all of it.
Hell yeah. They're just from Norway.
They're a Norwegian band. They're from all over. Yeah. Every bit of it.
Yeah. All the Norway.
Yep. Every way.
Do you want me to try with the names on this one? I can.
Go for it.
Which is funny because if you go to the actual album wiki, there's not the names aren't even listed. So
yeah, they are.
On the album wiki?
Hell yeah. We got Billy Bob Jackson, IRWYT.
Oh, you mean that? I meant the
you mean the performers, the musicians.
Yeah, the musicians, yeah. So I'm going to give you the personnel listed on their wiki. I don't know which drummer I guess I could go to the metal fucking
I suppose
encyclopedia. You know what? Let's do that. I probably should have thought of that beforehand, but I don't think I realized that they just didn't Oh, that's right. Animal Alpha's not going to be on there. Sick.
They're not.
They're not a metal band.
Encyclopedia Metallum doesn't have Animal Alpha.
Nope.
That's super weird.
Well, here are the members in Animal Alpha. There are 2 drummers listed. I'm sure one of them recorded the drums on this album.
With this band, it could honestly be both.
It could. We've got Agnete Kjolsrud on lead vocals. She is wonderful, incredibly talented. She did the clean vocals for the Dimmu Borgir Abracadabra album.
Hot damn.
So, yeah, she does a lot of cool shit. Christian Wibe?
Let's go with Wibe.
I'm over... Sure,
He's
on
a double
lead
wide.
guitar and backing vocals. Krister Onder Saderberg. I'm saying Onder because I know Anders Breivik. I don't know. Rhythm guitar, backing vocals. Lars Imre Bitness on bass guitar and backing vocals. Then 2 drummers, Thomas Emil Jacobson. That can't be that straightforward. And then Alexander Rala Vilnius.
Why not?
Sure. One of those drummers probably recorded this thing.
I mean, how many drummers does Slipknot have? 6?
Like, yeah, roughly. Yeah.
At a time.
So, I mean, yeah. Again, we kind of just get to the reviews on this. I do love this thing, just for whatever it's worth. I hope everyone if you're going to give any album on here, there are a couple that I hope for, a couple that I won't. I won't even try talking you into it. But, I love this album so much. I think it's really fun. It's very unique. I don't know anything else that really sounds like this. It's almost like a cross between like 90s alternative and I don't know, something, because it's not just that. It sometimes gets pretty heavy, but at times it just gets really weird and circusy and like, I don't know, it's all over the place. It's got a very unique identity.
It really does. So let's start with the album art.
Yep, let's do it. Album art for me, I do like it from afar, but it's kind of odd because it was I like it, but I landed on a 3. I guess I won't like be around the bush too much with these. We do try to get in and out a little bit, but like, I don't know, it's fine. I like the little double A for Animal Alpha. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like anything maroon or burgundy or whatever. So
for sure.
So it's fine. It just doesn't... I guess I don't know what they're trying to capture with it. Like I said, I don't even know who else sounds like them. So maybe this does perfectly capture the album. But I don't know. I landed on a 3 just because it's fine. I don't hate anything about it. It's not clip arty. It's not... It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I gave it a 5. Like right out the gate.
Sick.
I was in a mood when I was listening to these, and I was just doling out 5s, like all over the place.
Sick. That's awesome. You know what?
I love the script. I love the double A. It puts me in mind of like the 2 guitar players being back to back because it's got the little lines for the cross and they're slightly at an angle. So they're rocking out sick. For sure. I love the maroon. I love the very delicate floral pattern in the maroon and then the gold roses down at the bottom. It ticks a lot of boxes. It looks like an aged book. I feel wiser having looked at it.
I am gonna bump mine to a 4 now. I was trying really hard to be objective on this, and I think I overplayed my hand a bit on that one. So with you giving it a 5, I don't feel bad bumping to a 4 at all. So
and it says Pheromones, just
3.
really small above that middle rose. It's just love it.
It's very symmetric. It's nice.
It is.
It's nice. Well, sick. Off to a strong start for one that, I mean, I don't know how you'd hate the artwork. I did feel confident in that much. I didn't think you'd give it a 5. I'm glad you did, but I was like, well, we'll have artwork at the very least. What did you think of the production then, verse now?
I thought it was really good. I gave the production a 4. It's one of those scenarios where, like, you know, I can't imagine it sounding any different today. It's of a sound and a genre that, like, I don't think would ever sound old depending on when you listened to it. Maybe 50 years from now, but certainly not 20. And notably done by Sylvia Massey. I think our first female producer that we've discussed. But she did Tool's 1993 album. She did a Red Hot Chili Peppers album, System of a Down.
Wow.
Yeah, like she's got a pedigree, and to have not come up before is a little strange, but yeah, I think she crushed it. She captured a super weird band doing a lot of stuff. I mean, it's not like they have a Moog or a Glockenspiel. Fucking Christ. But yeah, she captured the normal instruments very well.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I agree. I gave it a 5. I think this thing sounds fucking killer. Like, I mean, to capture their weirdness in a way that still has an energy is a really... I don't think that would be easy, but you know what? If you produce a System of a Down, I guess... Yeah. I mean, we're talking about unique spots in our music.
Especially vocalists. Like, to capture this lead vocalist and Serge equally well, I think that's a feat.
Agreed, because boy, is she a unique vocalist. She can do a lot.
Like, and it was on display.
That range is, and I could easily see it. I think we'll talk about this on one of the other ones. On one of them, I'm just, you know what? Never mind. I'm getting ahead of myself. Where I could think maybe the vocals could be a detractor for some. I can see that being the case here. I don't really think the music would... I can see that being the
case on all of these albums today, actually.
Fair enough. Yeah. I could see, but I don't see the music being a deterrent for anybody. I think it's pretty... It's just kind of rock and roll.
It is kind of rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, his Grand Slam was supposed to be a sausage. Glad we both went there.
Yeah. All right, sick. This next one sucks so bad for me. I really am trying to tamper down how much I love this album. I love it a lot. It holds a very special place in my heart.
So is it not a 5?
I didn't listen to it at the time.
Yeah, okay.
So, I mean, I don't think... Jordan and I and Evan all found this at the same time. So it couldn't have been earlier than 2010. Like, that's the earliest it could have been. Now... In 2010, it blew my goddamn mind, and it's all I listened to forever. I mean, Jordan was still working at Speedway, and she'd listen to this while doing the walk-in, and we all three of us were so locked in on this thing that if I could judge it based on that, which I know I have done on other things, and I will reserve the right to do so when I feel necessary, I can't justify it here. So I hate it, but I fell on a 1 just because... I've never even heard of this band. We found out about them, I believe, because of Dimmu Borgir's Abracadabra.
Okay.
So I think that's how it was kind of backward engineered, because I want to say Abracadabra probably came out around 2010.
Abracadabra. She's gonna reach out and grab you.
Creepy.
Yeah.
2010. Yep. Look at that.
A-C-A-D-A-B-R-A.
Holy shit. Yeah, Jordan and I had been dating for like a month when Abracadabra came out.
Hot damn.
So yeah. Wow, I really had that timing all mapped out in my head.
Yeah, you did.
What about you? I assume it can't be much different.
It was definitely a 1, because like you, I had never heard of them in 2005. And I didn't even like them in 2010. Thought they sucked. I was not part of this lock-in.
Yeah, I want to say that was the first time maybe ever where you just so out and out did not understand my likeness of something. You were like, really why do you like this? Yeah. And I was like, what do you mean it's great? And you're like, it's not. All right, fair. Then I'm very interested. Mine's very boring. I'll just go ahead and tell you it was a 5. I enjoyed listening to it today. It's been a 5 every time I've ever listened to it, and it's never gotten old an iota. So, Josh, yours, please. How much did you enjoy listening to it today?
I landed on a 3 on the day I listened to it. Like, I had nothing better to do, really, at the time. So I was just like, I'll get into some music that I've never really given a chance. Her vocals are very strange, but, like... Yep. In respect, she's doing a lot with them. And, like... Yeah. It complements the music well, and the music, like you said, it's just kind of straight up rock and roll. It's super good. So I had a good time with it. It's not something I'm gonna put on maybe ever again. I don't know, but
yeah, it's one of those albums when it comes around in like 2.5 years, you'll be like, oh yeah. It's got a lot of that power for me where I don't think about it for a while, and then I'm like, Bundy comes on generally or something like that. All right, sick. Well, for Pheromones by Animal Alpha, we have got a big old 13 from Josh and a 15 from me for a 28.
Not bad.
Oh, that impact at the time. Not bad. Not bad, but sometimes, man, that thing is a bitch. All right, sick. So we got a 28. We will be doing favorite songs on this as well. So our playlist, TDTL Favorites 05 on Spotify, will be getting quite a bit bigger here soon. But what was your favorite song on the album?
I forgot to pick one at the time, but I remember Bend Over sticking out. So that's what I went with.
Bend Over's awesome. Okay, sick. That's good. I'm very glad. I so badly want to call the fact that Bundy should just be on there, because I mean, especially if you look at the plays, like the plays on Spotify, it's got like 8 million, and the next biggest song has 200,000. Like the chasm is remarkable. I think it was on
NHL. It was on a couple video games too.
Yeah, it's an incredible song. Awesome music video. It's literally about a woman getting captured by a serial killer and then killing the serial killer. And the music video is like set in kind of a circusy situation. It's real creepy. Awesome music video.
I love that.
I gotta tell you though, I watched it 2 nights ago. That shit looks like it was filmed in 2005. All right. I don't know if I can choose between... You know what? I'm putting Bundy on, and I'm choosing Most Wanted Cowboy. Never mind. I talked myself all the way back around.
There you go.
So there will be 3 songs
and
from
here
this
we
album.
Are. Fantastic.
And here we are. All right, Josh. What's up next? We got 3 more to go.
Next we have
you choose.
Origin. Echoes of Decimation.
What a sick fucking album name.
It really
That is so sick. Cool. All right. Well, Origin, a band I actually really enjoy. I don't know if I've listened to this one before.
I don't know if I've listened to much
them.
Origin. Like, I'm familiar with them, but I don't know if I've listened to them a whole lot.
Their last 3 albums I'm really into. I got into them because of John Longstreth, really, more than I got into John Longstreth because of Origin. It's almost the opposite. Origin have been around for a minute.
Hot minute,
at that point. Yeah, it's kind of weird. 1990. It's a long ass time to be a band. Though, I mean, they had name changes and stuff, and they didn't release their first album until what, like 2000? EP in 1998. So there's a little while. And this one is much easier. So selfishly, I wouldn't mind doing the people on the album, but if you want to do this one, you certainly can.
No, you go ahead and handle, the band from Topeka, Kansas. Should be a little easier.
Weird, though.
Super weird.
By the way, super weird. We got James Lee on vocals, so yeah.
Sick.
Paul Ryan on guitars. Fantastic. Clinton Applehans?
Yeah.
That's a little different. On guitars, also credited with engineer. Mike Flores on bass, and James King on drums. This is the one fucking album John Longstreth's not on.
Yeah.
He was gone for 2 years.
He missed this one.
It's so irritating. I mean, the drums are insane on this, don't get me wrong, but no one plays technical death metal like John Longstreth, so I was pretty bummed. I was like into the first track. I'm like, this doesn't sound like what he would have done. And I was like, oh, yeah. It's not him. Go figure.
This guy's hitting drums like a little kitten paw.
Yeah, he's not hitting these like it's a tree trunk coming off of a mountaintop.
Sick album.
That's
total runtime 26 minutes. You can dip in and dip out.
You really super short. To wait that long to release your first full length and for it to be that short is kind of odd. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're doing a lot with a little.
They are.
In 2 minutes, they're playing a lot of music.
Yeah.
These dudes are insane.
It was weird. It did not feel fast, like as an album. I mean, not it didn't feel like it was over quickly. It didn't overstay its welcome either, but it felt like you got your money's worth out of an album.
Yeah, and I don't know how many people want to listen to this sort of thing much longer than that. I know I do, but like I know most probably don't. Yeah. Because it is just basically being pummeled for 20 minutes.
Pummeled. So you want to tell us what you thought of the album artwork? Or
depending on the version of the album art you look at, I think is really dependent on how much I like it. Like not that it's different album art, but there are some versions where the face looks real, kind of like it'd been sitting in the sun for a while. Gotcha. And it looks really bad. But the one on the wiki I went with specifically, and I think it looks really sick. I don't know what the face is. I'm assuming it's some like Galactus, like Dormammu from Doctor Strange, cosmic entity sort of thing is kind of how I took it. Yeah. But I like their band logo. I always have. It's very simple. When you play music that's this insane, you don't really have to be insane with your logo.
Yeah, I can read that.
Very easily. It's great. I think the font on the album title's a little lame. I don't really know why. I'm not like mad about it, I guess. It's just anyway, I'm beating around the bush. I gave it a 4. I mean, I don't love the font on the album title, but I do think the face looks really cool and it does seem pretty ominous. But yeah, I landed on a 4. What about you?
I could not agree more with everything you said. Like that's and the text, the typeface for the name of the album is why it's not a 5. It just really detracts from an otherwise really good album cover. And maybe if it was in a different place, like uptight to the band name, it wouldn't be so bad. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's done incorrectly.
That is exactly why I gave it a 4. That marked it down a point. That's very funny. Also, I almost wish they didn't even have the album title on there.
That'd be sick.
If it just said Origin and had that'd be...
and you could print the album title along the spine of the jewel case as was a thing in 2005.
Oh, that's a really good call. Or it could have been on the... Yeah, man. See, a lot of options that would have been cooler. Options. Yeah. Anyway, what did you think of the production then verse now on this album?
For this one, I gave it a 3. And they didn't actually even have a listed producer. It was the band, Clinton Appelhans. Oh, and sorry, they did. Robert Rebick listed as an engineer. But I think so self-produced, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
But I mean, to capture their sound in the way that they did was pretty good, but I do think it sounds old at this point, and it does not sound as good as the 2004 Necrophagist album. Doesn't even sound as good as the one before that, honestly.
No, I would agree.
They're clearly not German and definitely from Topeka, Kansas, as far as engineering's concerned.
That is true.
What about you?
I just exactly the same. I landed on a 3 for the exact same reasons. I actually even thought about Necrophagist. I'm like, it's just so dated. Though I will say, I don't know if I heard a Gravity Blast this old until, I'm sure maybe I have. But they crushed the production on that, which is odd. Because that's tough now to do. So it's like a lot of it wasn't great. And then when I heard the Gravity Blast, I'm like, how come everyone's not following the lead on this guy? Like, that's how a Gravity Blast should be produced. It sounds great. It doesn't sound obnoxious, but...
That's a really good point. Like, I remember thinking, like, man, this is, like, on the verge of sounding overproduced. Like, the drums sound like current Hate Eternal, but everything else just kind of didn't.
Yeah, I agree.
I am the bringer of Storps.
So sick. That's this year, right? Next year? I think it's soon.
Yeah?
Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway. All right, sick. So what,
it's a 1.
Yeah. Yep. I did not listen to Origin in 2005. I'm not even sure I knew they were a band. If I'm being
I
really
definitely
honest.
did not. I knew about necrophages. I did not go much beyond them into this particular realm.
Yeah, the Faceless was, well, wouldn't have even been the Faceless quite yet. I don't think they were until 06 or 07. So, yeah, same. Boy, this is an anticlimactic one. Yeah. How much did you enjoy listening to it today?
I also gave this one a 3. I was like, it was sweet. It was sick to hear some early technical death metal, but it did sound a little dated. So, and even at 26 minutes, like I said, it didn't feel like 26 minutes. It didn't feel like 56 minutes, but I was like, okay, I can. This is middling. This is a 3 out of 5.
Yeah. Same. For the exact same reason. Wow, we really had the same experience with this one.
We sure did. So if you listen to this album out there, we can guarantee you an 11 out of 20 experience.
You're damn right. It seems low because I think it's a good effort.
Yeah.
But I think they had some room to grow, and they did. I would give their more recent albums higher scores than this.
Definitely, for sure.
All right, so we got 11 each, 22 total. Shoots.
22.
Picking a favorite was a little weird because
it was.
I didn't really. Honestly, I could have thrown a dart at a dartboard.
I did.
Nice, good. Well, what was your favorite song, Josh?
I spun the record and threw a dart into it, and then I was like, okay, wherever the record skips, that's my favorite song because there's a hole in it. I went with. Cloning the Stillborn.
Cloning the Stillborn.
Track 5.
And I will go Staring from the Abyss.
Great.
Sure.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. All right, Josh. What would you like to review next?
Let's go with Sunn. Now, I know it sounded like I said sun, but I need you to know that I actually said sun. So if you're going to search for it, it's SUNN space capital O 3 close parentheses, which I'm guessing is supposed to be like a sun emoticon.
Sure.
The album is called
Sure.
Black One.
Sure, yeah.
Following White 1 and White 2.
Yeah. There's nothing pretentious about this band at all. It's really refreshing.
Well, they're from Seattle, Washington, so I don't like that and Pretense are not normally thought of in the same breath.
It's also weird though that like I know it says they're from Seattle, but I also know that like one of their main vocalists throughout the time of the band is the dude from what the fuck is it called? Mayhem,
Sabbath?
the vocalist of Mayhem. So it's like they have really strong ties to like Norway and Finland and stuff. Well, Scandinavia just in general, but not in a cool way. Just in case you were worried about it. That fucking
this album is 67 minutes long.
You're damn right it is.
Brad, let's just dive in. What did you think of the artwork?
Okay, sure.
And then you can ask your question.
I weirdly gave I love the album artwork on this thing. I gave it a 5. I think it's incredible. It also looks exactly like the tentacles that kept you alive in Nine Souls, like the main character. And
God.
So that's pretty cool. Also, if you look at it, does it look like hair of a person kind of not right dead in the middle, but up towards the top to the right a little bit? It looks like it's growing hair out of the vines. I don't know.
I could never get a sense of what it actually was. And I just I need the physical thing so that I can look with my human eyes as deeply as possible because I could not zoom in far enough. But there's so much to it. It's like a hidden thing that I want to find all the... I'm sure there's a teddy bear in there that I'm supposed to be able to find.
For sure. It's like one of those old I Spy books where, Yeah, I totally agree. To me, it looks like something being birthed out of the primordial goo of the universe. Essentially, is how I felt it.
Fantastic. Yeah.
I love it. But yeah, I gave it a 5 all day. What about you?
Yeah, it's a 5. Like,
yeah,
there's no way around it. For what the album is, like it's even better. It just, I don't know about other covers or like what they normally sound like, but man, it's so good. Mm-hmm. It's just a black and white image, but it is a perfect black and white image for
it is
what is to ensue.
Yeah. Well, I think technically you're right.
Yeah. So, do you remember what you were going to ask me?
Is this music? Like I'm not even like trying to be funny. Like, do you actually categorize it? I guess I mean, a score is music. I don't know how. I have many problems with this.
So I've seen albums described like with the genre noise on.
Yeah, but generally there's. Yeah, I know, but I don't know what. What did you think of the production then, versus now? I honestly, we could spend the next 2 hours of me just being upset by this, and that's not what these are for.
Yeah, I'm so glad this is a jam session because of that.
Yeah, we absolutely could have done a whole episode on this. They do have enough information, and they're very prolific for being so fucking annoying.
It's a rabbit hole you could go down for sure.
Yeah,
but I gave the production a 4. Like I thought the sounds that were being captured and arranged in a specific way were done so well from a technical standpoint on how to make a production.
That's fair.
I could have just as easily landed on a 1 if I was like, is this music? If this was the gauge for that, it would be closer to a 1. But
if I had a visual with it, maybe, like I don't want to sit around listening to the score from the Gladiator movie, but I know it's incredible. But I want to watch Gladiator with it. Like I don't want to just sit around and listen to the music from Gladiator. I think if I did
dip into some like Hans Zimmerman video game scores at one point in my life. Yeah, and like this is sick.
Yeah. So I don't find it to be music for the sake of being music. I gave it a 1. I can't. I'm not sure I listened to the whole thing. If I'm being really honest, this is the first time I can't even promise that I got through the whole album because I just did
minutes. It's a lot.
And I'm sitting there in the middle of like a 12-minute track or whatever, going, "Why am I doing this?" Like nothing changes really. It's just kind of.
I was stuck in an airport. I literally had nothing better to do. So that's why I listened to it.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so I landed on a 1. What would you say
the impact at the time was?
I so badly wanted to try to talk you into letting me give it the first 0, but I won't do that. And I landed on a 1. I didn't listen to them. I did now, and I won't ever again.
There you go.
This band, they got a listen from me. Well, 2. They got 2 listens from me. And that's the 2 they're getting.
It's generous. Yep.
What about you?
I had never heard of them until you suggested it for this episode. Like, I didn't even really see them. They never caught my eye on the list of things. So it's a 1 for me.
They're one of those fucking bands that just, like, they'll get rave reviews every time they bring out an album.
8.9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. All music, 4.5 out of 5 reviewer score, 4.5 out of 5 listener score.
I mean, it's bananas. And like, to be really honest here, I gave it 2 listens for this. I have tried listening to them 50 times because there's always going to be some year-end Metal Injection list.
Yes.
That has Sunn on it when they come out with an album, and I have to go, I gotta give it another shot. This is something I just don't understand. I still don't. So, How much did you enjoy listening to this today, Josh?
I actually gave it a 3.
Okay.
Like, I went into it because you had asked me several times, like, are you sure? And then you made the caveat that it wasn't music, and I don't disagree. But like, it was at least not offensive tones. Like the ambience that it's putting out there is at least palatable in that regard.
That's true.
And so oddly enough, I finished listening to it this morning in my basement with the heat running and the sound from my daughter's baby camera playing through my phone. And between like the furnace, the baby monitor, and the phone, I wasn't sure which I was hearing at the time. And then the album ended, and I had no idea. I thought it was still just like the album, but it was the baby monitor picking up the white noise machine.
Sure.
So that's what you're in for. If you don't want to be absolutely certain whether you're listening to a baby monitor, a furnace, or an album of music, this is the album for you.
Well said. I'm not saying they're not doing what they're trying to do. As far as I can tell, they're executing it perfectly, and it's something I just personally don't understand because people love this shit. Now, I will say, if I ever got the chance to see them live, I'd probably do it. Because again, I think if I put this over like
an experience,
silent film, maybe it'd be cool. Like if I watched Nosferatu, the original one, that is a terrible movie. I will never understand. That's odd, but even still, if I put this over that, maybe that's something. You know, I don't know. Yeah. But as far as just listening to an album of music, it was a 1. I actually was upset that I liked the cover so much. That's how badly I wanted to give this a worse score. I mean, I still ended up on a total of 8, which Josh landed on a 13, which is very solid for 21 overall. And I don't
1 point worse than Origin,
which is not the same thing.
It is not
at all. I don't actually. That's upsetting. I'm upset by that.
If you wanted me to sit in a room and adamantly say, like, I think this is the apotheosis of the black metal trajectory, I would defend that statement.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's just...
This is as far away from a microphone as you can get, as dark a tone as you can get.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. But even in 05, black metal bands are at least starting to kind of, sort of crawl out of the muck.
But they don't have a Mystic Fog Invocator.
No.
Invocator?
Invocator. Yeah. You know John Roderick is friends with at least one of the dudes in this band, by the way.
Has to be, yes.
100%.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you have a favorite song? I'm guessing the shortest one.
So here I will read you verbatim. Favorites. I'll pick the shortest one that Josh doesn't pick, so I don't torture people too hard. So Josh, you go first, and I'll pick the second shortest song on the album.
I went with Candle Goat.
Okay, sick.
There was some discernible music in there at times.
That, you're not wrong. But that, I shouldn't have to look for music in music. You know?
Right.
Like, I don't know. Yeah. So sick. I'll go with Sin Nana. The fact that track 2 on Spotify...
I don't think there's any sound in it, actually.
Perfect. Even better. It'll be a reprieve.
I genuinely don't think there's any sound in it.
I don't remember.
Because... Evidently, from Oren Ambarchi, there's vocals, bowed, cymbals, flies, drums, electric guitars, and atmos. Short for atmosphere, because that's where you want to be frugal with your characters.
Yeah. You want to trim down words. Well, there's only one left to do. Let's get to it, man. What do we got left?
We have Enemy of God from Kreator. From Essen, Germany. With a 56-minute runtime.
It is long, I will say. Since we're not going to get into a whole thing, I'll say it's a bit too long.
It's a little bit too long. But in my opinion, overall, it's like Slayer, but better.
I would 100% agree. I think it's way better than Slayer. This, so in 2005, I got into a huge thrash kick.
Hell yeah.
And this was the starting point for that. I got really into this album. I actually still have a burnt CD with this and some Legion of the Damned and some weird middle age Venom.
Venom.
Yeah, stuff like that. Toxic Holocaust, all that stuff. So I was really into this at the time, which is kind of cool because it's really the first time that that's come into play this entire episode for me.
Yeah.
This is their 11th album, by the way.
So many. Yeah.
God, they've been around for a long time. 1982. It's a long-ass time to be a band, dude.
It's a long-ass time.
Which, that predates Metallica, if I'm not wrong. I think Metallica was... they might have been 82, actually. They might have been
Careful
82.
where you're stepping.
Yeah, very true.
We've got a very tenuous fan base here.
Right. Oh, Mick texted me about Thrice, actually.
Sick.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mick.
Yeah, man. I love you, buddy. Yeah, so, Josh, I mean, we can just get into it. Well, did you want me to do the band members on this one? It's a...
Yeah, you might as well.
Middle ground of weird and not weird. Millie, M-I-L-L-E, Petroza,
Vanilli.
Petroza, yeah, on vocals, lead, and rhythm guitar. Very talented.
Damn, dude.
Talented dude. Sammy Yi Cernio on lead guitar, Christian Geisler on bass, and Ventor on drums, which is a sick fucking name to have.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. What did you think of the artwork of Enemy of God by Kreator?
I didn't see the alternate cover for the re-release at the time, so I'm not going to factor that in. I'll give you my 2 cents after we talk about it, but
sure.
I think it's a 5 for album artwork. I love the graphic. I think their logo's rad as hell. It's very 1982, but somehow still works in 2005.
Yeah.
And just overall, I like the imagery. It's a really nicely done graphic. You can see some of the brain. There's some machinery, and then the intricacy of the, I guess, veil over the eyes of the skull. Super sick. So yeah, I loved it. I think it's a fantastic graphic.
Totally same. I have no notes. It's a 5 for me too. And it's like the Kreator logo should almost be too much, but the fact that they're a thrash metal band, that's where it lives with me, and I'm very happy for it. Like, I love it.
Yeah, and they put the album title up tight to it.
Yep.
Like Origin probably should have done.
Indeed. Yeah, no, I'm with you all day.
The re-release gets a 6 just because it has a boob on it.
Man, that's such a weird album cover. Like
it is such a weird. It's the exact same, just with woman's torso covering
in front of it. Yeah. It's an odd fucking choice. All right.
The album should be credited to Joachim Lütke.
Very sick.
Done some for Arch Enemy, Dimmu Borgir, Marilyn Manson, Meshuggah. Yeah. You can see that.
All of that checks out. All of it checks out.
Yep.
All right.
Very, very hard. Yep.
5 for both of us. Hell of a start. Production then verse now?
I gave it a 4.
Sick.
I thought it was super good, and it held up kind of in a way that Origin didn't.
Yeah.
Like, this was the better version of Origin in almost every facet. In fact, in literally every facet for me.
Yeah. I mean, I gave it a 5, actually. I don't know what about it would sound different right now. If, like, Kreator entered a studio and it came out sounding exactly like this, sick. The kick drum on this thing is a monster, too. Like, it's not, like, muddy or drowning anything out, but it's got some fucking... I like it. It's like, what's that Darkest Hour album? The second one. Undoing Ruin, or is that the third?
Yep.
Yeah, Undoing Ruin. That kick drum is so fucking good.
So good.
And
good.
This is on par with that. I mean, it's an incredible kick. Also, just really cool thrash drummer, by the way. Not really doing the totally normal thrash shit. He kind of does a lot more kick work that's not just straight up double bass, which I appreciate. So yeah, I gave it a 5. I think it's really good. Yeah, I haven't heard it in a really long time either. So like hearing it again and being like, because I remember at the time thinking like, man, we're never getting better than this. This is as good as we're getting at this. But yeah, it still stands up. Like I love it.
What about impact at the time?
I gave it a 3. I was really into it, but like I didn't. I'm not sitting around too much trying to. I know Enemy of God, a lot of the riffs off that song. I still remembered a lot of them. I could still play them. I really loved this album when it came out, to the detriment of I think everyone who knew me. I don't think you want to be around the guy who all of a sudden gets into thrash out of nowhere. I don't think anybody wants that. Yeah. Like I think
that's something a lot of people signed up for on the onset.
No. I don't think a whole lot of people were happy with me on that. But yeah, so I at least got it to a 3. I kind of wanted to go to a 4 because it did really kind of crack open my I had been into Metallica and Megadeth my whole life, but I don't know. I didn't follow thrash. That's not really my bag. I think most of it sounds more or less the same. The bands that stand out for a reason because they don't sound the same.
Right. Yeah.
So there's that, but yeah, it did get me into thrash at a time where I would never have seen it coming. So it's pretty sick. What about you?
Sick. I unfortunately had to give it a 1.
Sure.
Like I had heard of Kreator, and actually going through this album, like I definitely knew the song Impossible Brutality.
Sick.
So, like I knew it, but it had no real impact.
That's super.
I did not get super into thrash.
Good call. Good call. Yeah, that's probably the move. Well, I mean, how much did you enjoy listening to it today?
I gave it a 4. The day's first 4. It was super good.
Yeah.
You're right. It does feel a little long.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more than just some basic straight up thrash here.
Yeah.
Like there's a band pushing the boundaries of their genre, I'll say.
Yeah. Which after, 30 years already at that point, well done. Like, you guys are crushing it. I gave it a 4 too. I really love the album. It's just the length. It's just it's one too long. Like it's if it was like one song shorter maybe or something, but it doesn't feel necessarily long in the tooth when you're done. But I was like, oh, it is still going. So yeah, I gave it a 4. Man, strong showing for Kreator, which is good because they're a solid band.
That is good.
Yeah.
Of all the bands that we reviewed today, I would say that's probably the most like spot on score.
Yeah, agreed.
Just objectively.
Agreed.
What was your favorite song?
Well, Enemy of God. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's such a good song, and it's the song that got me into them. They had a music video that was on Fuse.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what introduced me to them. So I'll go with that just because it was also my first foray into Kreator. What about you?
Voices of the Dead. I thought it was going to be Dystopia, but Dystopia got a little repetitive, and Voices of the Dead was about the same, but also just more refreshing, even though it's longer and right after. So, that's what I picked.
Sick.
And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Andy Sneap was the producer on this album.
That's why it's so good. That guy cannot...
That is why it's so
He
good.
does no wrong. None whatsoever. Man, good on you, Andy Sneap.
Yep, super good. Actually, a name that comes up a lot, I think, was on Origin. Alan Duchess did the mastering.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well done, guys. Well, strong showing. 14 from Josh, 17 from me, 31 totals. Pretty good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad. This was the one where I was like, other than Animal, well, I listen to Animal Alpha, but I'm probably not going to revisit that Origin album too much. It just...
No.
I'll listen to their newer stuff. I don't, I'm not a huge fan of that. So I was really glad that I got to this. Also, I saved it for last, which I was very grateful for because I needed it after Sunn. Let's not point out the O in the goddamn name. You still have to type
or
that
the
O.
Second N. Yeah.
It's still there. It's not like... Those fuckers. All right, folks. Well, we got through Animal, Alpha, Pheromones, Origin, Echoes of Decimation, Sunn, Black One, which I guess be careful with that a little bit, and Kreator, Enemy of God. We're going to put the favorite songs on our playlist. Again, that's TDTL Favorite Songs 05. We have an 04 playlist as well. And if you would like, check us out on Instagram at TDTL_podcast.
Yeah.
Come tell me.
And if you haven't heard any of these albums, go listen to these albums. You'll have at least a decent time for the most part.
I will say this is probably the most, if you told me no one who is listening to us had heard any album that we talked about in a jam session, this is the one that I would point to.
I would, yeah.
Which is cool. Even my problems aside.
It was fun. Yeah, it was fun to do.
Agreed.
For sure. So go out, listen to music, and have fun.
And
with that, he's been Brad, I've been Josh, and we've been 2 Decades Too Late.